Hmm, what to watch? No, no, seen that. Oh, what's this?
Again. Make yourself at home. Do you remember me? I've been MIA for a while. Sorry about that. I was kind of caught up in my feelings, and then my cat went missing. He's back now. Um, but everything's good to go, and I'm ready to get back to spinster things and homemaking things. And while I was away, I came to realize how essential homemaking is for survival. I actually wrote an essay about it on Substack, which is basically a guide on how we can survive as a coven. It's about self sufficiency, softness, and survival with a dash of magic. And I want our community to be about redefining spinsterhood as liberation and a method of self determination. I imagine our coven being like a sanctuary and a toolkit for thriving when the world feels unstable. And I don't know about you, but I've got a lot of concerns and insecurities regarding recent events as of late. And I feel like I can't even express what I really mean, or it might get flagged. So I hope you know what I mean. But I'm talking about things that lead to higher rent and grocery prices, people getting pew-pewed outside, rights, liberties, and freedoms being stripped away. So for me, gardening and homemaking, we have become a way to calm my anxiety while also making me feel safer and more prepared. I'm going to keep posting my homemaking journey so I can get my Martha Stewart on. And I'm still going to post about my garden and also provide updates regarding my soul food garden. I am getting into canning and I'm still learning to cook from scratch. So I feel like now more than ever, it's important to really develop my homemaking skills. And if you really think about it, these are life skills, anyways. These are skills that everyone should learn and develop to live. Cooking, planning, prepping, these are all skills that can help us survive whatever the future may bring. And the future is not looking too good. So I'm going to try to get myself prepared for the future by nosediving straight into homemaking. If you think about it, women of the past used these skills of homemaking to survive and thrive, and I think it's time to return to that. Not in a Stepford wife, trad wife type of way, but more like to expand on these skills in a survival type of way. So this will be my little documentary showing my growing and surviving in a cozy way. So if you've ever felt out of place in the traditional story, then this is your coven. Subscribe and stay connected, and let's thrive together. Welcome to the coven. I'd like to share with you my thoughts on spinsterhood and how homemaking can be used as a means of survival. It's more like an intro, and I wrote this for Substack in an essay titled Welcome to the Coven, A Spinster's Guide to Thriving in Uncertain Times. So it reads, The Unraveling. There is a sense of urgency in the air. Our rights, our freedoms, our very bodily autonomy, once considered settled, are back on trial. The conveniences that defined modern life are now feeling increasingly fragile. In this uncertainty, I am stockpiling skills. I'm turning to the practices of our ancestors, learning to do things myself with my own two hands. This blog is my act of defiance. It is my belief that in reclaiming the old ways, growing my own food, learning to cook from scratch, finding community, I am not retreating. I believe we are building a new resilient foundation for ourselves, especially for women. And as it turns out, my so called old lady hobbies may just be the key to our modern survival. From convenience to crisis, the urgent way. The systems that have been put into place that provide us with easy access to food, the ability to access healthcare, and the freedom to form community are now under threat. And while they've never been equally accessible to all, now we're at risk of them collapsing further. Let's think of our grandmothers and great grandmothers as the original survivalists. They didn't have the luxury of convenience. They relied on skills, grit, and each other. Anything they needed, they provided for themselves, for their families, and for their communities. They knew how to take the produce from a garden and use that to nourish and heal the body. That knowledge is essential and enlightening. In trading that resilience for ease, we've grown fragile and vulnerable. The practices from hobby to survival skill. Since the election, I've leaned into new hobbies that are not only entertaining but also give me a sense of purpose. I consider them to be practices and skills that are essential for survival. Gardening. I started my victory garden as a direct response to potential scarcity. Cooking from scratch. Knowing what's in my food and how to make it gives me control. Canning. Preserving food is a way to protect against scarcity and rising prices. Sewing, mending, and DIY. I may be learning, but these skills will give me the independence I need to repair and create, not just consume and discard. Feminine reclamation. These skills were long dismissed as women's work. However, I see them as radical power. I can explore my femininity through what my hands can do for myself and my community. The community, from solitude to coven. This isn't just about me. Our grandmothers developed these ancestral skills for the survival of their communities. I'm building a coven, a space where we share, teach, and hold each other up. Together, we can learn from each other. Our collective knowledge and desire not just to live, but to flourish is our greatest asset. Together, we can be each other's safety net. A new kind of productivity. In the face of threat, we are often expected to be afraid, and honestly, I am. But being brave doesn't mean you aren't scared. It means you choose to act despite your fear. So, in the face of my fear, I will be productive and prepared. I do not know what the future will bring, but I, together with you, will move forward with a purpose. We will move with the soft, determined strength of a gardener who knows that from a small seed, a mighty, resilient plant can grow. Consider this a documentary of that growth. This is the Spinster Survival Guide. Here, softness is not weakness, it's our strength. Welcome to Spinster Living. Make yourself at home, and let's get our hands dirty.